Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to ChamPanZ Percussion. If you're new to this channel, welcome! And we're so excited to have you join us. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to keep up to date on any new videos I'll be posting. So today, we're going to learn two different ways that you can practice. Now, the first way, most of you already know. This way to practice is called physical practice. Now, what you really do when you're physically practicing is getting your hand on the stick, getting behind your instrument, whether it's a marimba, whether it's a snare drum, or a practice pad, whatever it is. The logic behind physical practice is that you're actually getting the real work done. Now, this might be the most effective way to practice. Now, there's another way that you too can practice. Now, this other way is called mental practice. Now, what is mental practice? Mentally practicing music is a different way that you can approach your music. Now, one way that you can mentally practice is getting your music out and actually reading the notes note by note or analyzing the rhythms. Now, doing this will actually give you deeper insight on what the music is really asking you to do. Another thing that you can do while you're doing this is also do some research. This will allow for you to find any words that are on the music that you don't know the names of. And so when you do that, you can also look at other examples, which is my next point. The other thing that you can do even after you read your music is listen or follow along to a recording. If you do that, that will give you other insight on how others like to play, or you'll notice something different in their techniques, and in a way that'll give you ways of seeing what you're doing right or maybe what you're doing wrong. And so that's a really good way to practice, by mentally hearing or even by mentally seeing. And you know, there's so many different benefits of actually mentally practicing, because there's times where you don't actually have your big instruments at home, like for example a marimba or vibraphone. Most of you all don't actually own some of those big instruments. Now, if you do, great. This is a skill that might actually help you out. But one thing that I've learned over the years is that those people that actually use mental practicing a lot more actually tend to be the better musicians. And sometimes you might ask yourself, well, why does this person do a lot better even though they don't have their instrument at home? Why does this person do a lot better even though they're not practicing as much? Well, guess what? They're using their minds to actually dig in deeper, to see things differently, and they're being very efficient with all their time. And so even when they're not actually practicing their instruments, they're practicing their stickings or practicing their, right permutations and all that stuff when they're at home just sitting down and don't have much to do. So next time you're at home, maybe spend some time analyzing your music. Actually start singing, humming, whether it's a transcription of a real song or it's the actual tune that you have. Practice that in different ways. Now, another thing that you can do is probably look at different instruments that are playing your piece of music. That will give you a lot more insight on how to play your music a little bit more different, or give you a different approach on how to go about it. Now, I'm going to talk from a jazz standpoint. When I like to teach my big band or a jazz band, I like to listen to a recording 3 times in a row, following along to the music. Now, the reason I do this is because it's going to give me more insight on how to play the music more correctly. What I'm going to notice is what people are doing with the melody, what big impacts I need to emphasize, or, all that other stuff that's going to be very crucial when playing the music successfully. Now, you can also look at different instrumentations. You might be playing a solo that was actually written for violin, or it was written for piano. See how they approach it, or what image they're presenting. The reason I say to look at those is because, the music was written for a different instrument. Mentally use your mind on what type of sound those instruments are getting. How can you get that same exact sound on your instrument? Whether it's the marimba, vibraphone, or even if it's just the snare drum part, make it sound more musical. Don't just make it sound like just notes. But if you're mentally hearing that in your head, or if you can hum it and just follow along by tapping, that's going to get you even better and closer to a more successful way of producing your music to the highest caliber you can actually make it. Now guys, I hope this gave you more insight on how to mentally practice, even when you don't have your instrument at home. I know that that might be a little bit different for a few of you guys, and well, who knows, maybe in today's world with all of these things that are going on, this might be a way that you yourself can practice at home, even though you're not able to spend as much time at school or even have an instrument close to you. Well, that's all I have for today, guys. Now, I hope that you enjoyed these 2 different ways on how to practice. Now, if you still have any other questions or any other ways that you like to practice, please comment below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to keep up to date on any new videos I will be posting. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to have fun.